Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Irrelevant Sports. I'm your host, Marissa.womack, if you didn't know, now you know. And I'm here with Claire Wilson from the volleyball team, and I'm just going to let her do her intro really quick.
Hey guys, I'm Claire Wilson. I'm from Nashville, Tennessee. I'm a sophomore here at USC, and I'm on the volleyball team, like she said, and I'm a setter. I've been playing volleyball since I was about 10 years old, so about 10 years now, and I played high school at Harpeth Hall, and yeah, pretty much it.
Yeah. So we can get into a bit about your recruiting process and kind of like what that was like for volleyball and like schools D2, D3, and how you ended up here.
Gotcha, yeah. The recruiting process started about 8th grade for me.
Holy crap, I didn't realize it started.
It was pretty early. And I remember my first call was actually with TCU, and I asked them why they were the Horned Frogs. So that went well, as you can see.
Yeah.
And, but no, it was pretty funny. But yeah, I just started kind of like, people started reaching out. I didn't really know what I was doing. And honestly, I was kind of the worst at recruiting because I never made a highlight reel. I just would respond to emails as they would come in, and I would just like respond whenever as fast as I could, and then they would come at our tournaments. They were like club style tournaments. There would be like hundreds of courts, which you probably know, and the college coaches would just like roam around, and they would like camp out on courts and stuff, and so they would just come watch me play and then send emails and set up calls and stuff. So it just started like that. And then if there was a school that reached out that I didn't like automatically, I knew I didn't like, I would just kind of politely send them I'm going in a different direction email. And then I was kind of narrowed down to 2 schools, and then I toured at USC and committed the next day.
Really?
So I knew it was for me. That's for sure.
Claire, you can't really tell because she's sitting down, but she's very tall. And in high school, like, I was a setter, my roommate was a setter. Like, how kind of did you get into that position of all positions?
I've been a setter my whole life. I used to play tennis before.
Okay.
And I played a lot of sports, but tennis was like my main other sport. I really liked it. I seem to have hand-eye coordination, so that was kind of what steered me in the direction. I had just like played for the first time. You would just rotate in a circle, everybody would do everything, and I just liked setting. And then tried out for club as a setter. Didn't really think I was gonna like make it or anything. Ended up making it, and then my 12th coach, Coach Richard, shout out. He basically taught me how to set first and my first year, and like would have me setting with basketballs to make me strong enough to get it out there. I was a little 11 and 12-year-old. And so I just kind of like chose it and kind of ran with it and never really switched. I did a little bit of hitting in high school because you just need hitters. You just need people to play whatever in high school. And so I played a little bit on the right side, a little bit in club, but I've just kind of always been a setter. Tall setter for sure. But,
If you like don't know kind of how volleyball works, there's like obviously 6 people on the court. Setter is supposed to get the second ball or the second touch on the ball. That's why I liked it, because I knew that I would always get
a second chance. Get a second. If you mess up, you can always get a try again.
Exactly. Like it's just like you always kind of have it, and so it's like basically you kind of are a huge part of like each rally, just because if you mess up, then it's like, oh crap, like if you push it too far, that kind of thing. I loved setting, but I just stopped eventually.
It's the best position.
Yeah, it's also the hardest, I would say. Like, I feel like it's easy to catch on, like, bumping and then hitting, like, that's on your vertical and your swing and everything like that, but like setting, you really have to have like pretty hands, and if you don't like learn it like early on, then it's like harder. It's harder to teach the older you get.
True. Yeah. Definitely, every position has its, I don't know, its own like, I guess, like, skill set. Like, you have to have, like, pretty hands. And if you don't, like, learn it, like, early on, then it's like, it's harder to teach the older you get. True. True. Yeah. Definitely, every position has its, difficulties.
Yeah.
And so, like I could never
be a middle. Libero.
Yeah, I could never be a libero. Could never be a middle. And
yeah,
like they hit the ball so hard now. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah, and blocking. I'm like this tall, and that like my hands are like barely touching. It's so bad. Yeah. This summer I coached for like little girls.
That's fun.
It was very hard as like being a previous setter to teach them how to set because you're like, all right, why are you good at it? Yeah, like you're just like
little kids are very set in their ways.
Yeah,
they won't change.
100%. Okay, so how was your transition from high school to college?
It was pretty smooth on it, I would say. I came here in the summer before, so like I had to leave high school early, like all my high school friends, which is so sad. But we came about June 14th, and then kind of like got acclimated and everything. And with volleyball, it's a weird sport. You can't play with your coaches until August 8th,
okay,
report day.
Mm-hmm.
It's like every other sport, you're allowed to do whatever you want. Yeah. So. But you're allowed to lift with our strength coach. So we just like lifted the whole summer and did open gyms just as a team, which was nice to kind of like ease in because you don't have like the pressure of like somebody watching you and judging you and like.
And you're like growing your bond with everyone.
And so it was nice to like figure out the team dynamic and everything and like play with them before the coaches stepped in and saw you.
Yeah, there's another girl on the team from Nashville, right?
Morgan, yes. Yeah. She's from all over. She's from Illinois, and then she moved to Nashville, and then she moved to Texas, and now her family's in Virginia, so everywhere, yes.
We know each other through a girl, Christine, that I did a different episode with, not on the sports one. That's how we knew each other, and then she played with you, right? And Morgan. So. I know she played with Morgan, but you guys just knew each other?
Yes. Gosh, it was a small world.
Yeah. So your freshman stats were... I'd go through all the stats.
That's okay.
One of only 2 Gamecocks to play in every set during the season. Slide. And then second freshman in the last decade to lead an assist for a season.
Didn't even know that.
How was your freshman season overall?
I mean, it was pretty good. I came in not really knowing what to expect. I was like, am I going to play? Am I going to sit the bench? I had no idea. And so I just came in with like an open mind, just kind of like ready to play, ready to do whatever they asked. And the team was super welcoming. They're not like, oh, you're a freshman, you can't play. Like, nobody was like that. Everybody was super like encouraging and supportive. And so overall, it was a pretty good season.
Yeah. And then this year, you reached 1,000 career assists in Wynn, Alabama. Ended ranked 10 in the program's rally scoring for career assists, and then you tripled aces from 2021, and then doubled your dig total. And then 19 of your 24 aces came in SEC. Like she's hearing all of her stats. I did do that. Yeah, so how would you say like your growth from freshman to this season has been?
Definitely more vocal because like last year you're kind of like the freshman, you don't really want to like stir the pot, be like too bossy or anything like that because you might not fit so well with some of the older people, but this year, like, I kind of had, like, a year under my belt. I knew it was going to happen. I wasn't really, like, shocked by anything. Knew what the travel was going to be like. So it was nice to just, like, know what to expect, I think. And obviously, like, getting better in practice and stuff like that.
Yeah. So you guys, like, I feel like most of your games are pretty packed for a few of the sets. So for being, like, a volleyball player, how did you feel... like the fan base wise, because I feel like we're a very supportive school in a lot of our sports compared to like other schools.
Yeah, I love the fans. Whenever it's like packed in there, I feel like we play better.
Yeah. And
we go to these other schools and like there's like 20 people in the stands, and we're like, where are your fans? Like, do you not have like school spirit? Like, what's going on? But like our gyms are our gym is small when they bring out the bleachers, and I kind of like that because
it feels like it's like high school a lot of times.
Yeah, and it's like it gets loud, and like the Clemson game, they have rally towels, and the other team or like the other teams, like where the band sits or whatever, they like heckle the servers on the other.
Yeah. Oh wait, our band is crazy.
It's funny. So I really like our gym, and our fans definitely bring energy to help us out.
Yeah, our band for like y'all's games, and then also women's basketball, and then like football.
Yeah,
they're just like such like a good band overall. Like I think that like a lot of schools kind of like don't think about their band, or like UGA, I know how their band is, and it's nothing compared to ours. Like ours will get loud, and they're so proud of it.
They're not afraid to say something.
Yeah, and like there was like, I think it was like Mississippi State or something like that. I went to that game this season, and like just listening to like how they like say things to the servers, I'm like, how do you guys just like keep, like they know like everything about like every sport, which I feel like people underestimate when it comes to a band, but they're like great.
When we go other places, we definitely get a little heckled. Like sometimes, like one time, this is the most that's ever happened, when we went somewhere and like these girls were looking up our Instagrams and like roasting us. It was really weird. It was weird.
That's hard. Another thing that like USC does for our students to like get us more involved in athletics is how we get tickets to football games, because our like we're the only SEC school left that gives out free tickets to our students, but you have to go to other athletic events, which I feel like not only like raises like crowd morale and like participation, but it also like gets you excited to like be at the university, especially like for freshmen. Like you have to go to more things to get more points, and so like that's how I started going to volleyball games, and then like soccer games and things like that, because like you get a point for going to a football game, but like you can't even get a ticket to a football game if you don't get points. So then it's like you also feel more comfortable like inviting people to things, because like we are like so like we're good in sports in like the aspect of academics wise, and so like a lot of people come for sports management, but being able to like widen that with like other majors and like other students, I feel like is good. So yeah, outside of volleyball, you're in a sorority in Darla. So what's that like for keeping up with your social life in both a sorority and athletics?
I mean, athletics definitely is a lot of work, but you do have free time. So like, practice ends at like, now it ends at like 5 usually, and so like after 5 I'm free to do whatever I please, unless I have like a tutoring session or like something like that, or like a team meeting that I need to go to. And so like I can make my sorority chapter meetings, and a lot of the mixers and stuff like that, like I just go to what I can, and Charlotte is super like nice about it. They're like, if I can't come to something, they're like, oh yeah, you're good, like you can go, and which is super nice. And because obviously I wanted to do it, I've always wanted to be in a sorority, and I love all the girls I met in it, and so I didn't want to give that up just because I'm playing a sport, and they've been super nice about it.
Yeah, that's really good. I feel like it like volleyball is a very flexible sport when it comes to like having more free time, because your guys' season is, it's not like smaller, but it's like I feel like it's not as dragged on as like basketball kind of thing. Like
basketball's the worst timing ever. I feel so bad for them because they don't get like Thanksgiving or Christmas or spring break. Yeah. And ours is we're here from like June to December, and then we're done. Yeah. And we get Christmas break, all that stuff, spring break, which is nice, but the only thing that sucks is that it's during football season. Yeah. So we miss a lot of football games, which is unfortunate.
Do you guys have like overlap games?
All the time. Okay. Yes. We usually can come to about 3 or 4 home games on a good season. Okay. Which is not bad.
Yeah. That
it could be worse. Could be 0.
We have like 8. So I'm going to like half. Like, it's not really bad. And then what would you say for during or after season is like your biggest stressor? Like your mental health a little bit.
During season, definitely just keeping up with everything because you're traveling. Like, you get home, you travel usually Friday morning or Thursday night, and then you get back at a lot of times like 3 in the morning on Sunday, and then you have to wake up and go to class. And so just like keeping everything very like time management is a really big thing, like keeping everything intact, and then just like the pressure of performing, and because like you have all these fans watching, you have so many people on TV watching, and like you don't, and your teammates, like you don't want to let down your teammates, so it's just like if you have a bad game, you're like, oh shoot, like what are people gonna think of me, and like stuff like that. And I know it's not football, it's not as big like as that, like if you have a bad game, you like fumble the ball, then everybody's gonna know. But it's
even
like,
then I feel like they have so many like makeups, I guess.
They make a touchdown, everybody forgets them and stuff like that. But yeah, just the pressure of performing, and just like I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, so like if I have a bad game or something, like it's not, try not to let it affect me or anything like that, and I try to just move on, but sometimes it's not always that easy.
What would you say has like been your favorite game to play in?
I would have to say my freshman year when we beat Kentucky.
Okay.
It was a massive game. Like, they win the SEC most of the time, them in Florida. And it was...
This year?
What?
Who won this year?
Kentucky won. Okay. But we split with Florida this year, which was also a fun game. I was just talking between those. But freshman year Kentucky, it was packed. It was... Like, nobody expected us to win. We were such the underdogs, and we just went out there and just played. And after, I remember everybody was like, "You guys beat Kentucky?" We're like, "Yeah, that's crazy." It was like, it was.
Was that one that went into like 4 sets? There was one.
It was 4 or 5, something like that.
Yeah, I went to one of them, and it was like, you guys were down a set or 2, and then came back 3, and I was like, what?
We love a reverse sweep.
Yeah. No, it was, because we left after like the 4th or something, and then it just kept going, and then I checked later, and I was like, oh, they like won. What would you say is like your favorite part of like being at an SEC school?
That's a tough one. There's just so many good things, like I love the school spirit, definitely love that, like everybody's into it, it's being at South Carolina, it's so much fun, there's always something to do, no matter if you want to go to a party or do like the cute hangout with your friends, go to like Soda City or something like that, so there's always something to do. And honestly, I like being the SEC, being a Power 5 school, like it does have a reputation that comes with it, and that is just really fun that I get the opportunity to play SEC school. And I don't know. My favorite part is it's just like when I was little, like I never thought I would get to this point. Like I didn't even know if I'd make it to college, stuff like that. And so just to live the dream.
Did you kind of like know that you were gonna stay in the South, like when choosing? Yes,
I'm definitely a warm weather girl. I'm obsessed with tanning, and my mom would hate me for that. That's okay. But yeah, I looked at some schools in the North, but ultimately I was like, I definitely would thrive more in the South.
What would you say that you kind of want the future of like the rest of your seasons to look like? Or, like, what are you looking forward to the most before graduation?
Honestly, just being with my team. I love my teammates, and just like having a positive mindset throughout this whole thing, because it can get difficult in the middle of the season when you're exhausted, running off with no sleep, and you just want to get everything done, and just have that positive mindset and just do what we came here to do, and that's play and just have fun while doing it.
What does kind of an off season look like for you?
We come back, since we're on season, we don't have to come back early from Christmas break, so we come back when classes start. And then we start 8-hour weeks, which means we have 4 hours of lift and 4 hours of on-court the whole week, and that's it. So up into that is January,
like
20.
Okay.
And so it's January to spring break, we do 8-hour weeks. So we lift at 7 a.m., 6:30 or 7 a.m., depending on the day. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. And then you'll have an 8-hour week, we'll have positional training. So 4 times a week we'll go in for an hour and just do like positionals. Sometimes they mix positions, like middles and setters, we'll set them that day, setters and pins, or we're just by ourselves, or other stuff like that. And then we get spring break, and then after we come back from spring break, we have 20-hour weeks again. So we still continue our 6:30 a.m. lifts, and then just up that practice to 3 hours a day. And we only get 1 off day a week in 20 hours. So we go, we usually get Sundays off, unless we play on Sundays. We have 4 scrimmage dates in the spring. And this spring we played College of Charleston, Georgia Southern, Clemson, and we go to NC State next Saturday. Next Saturday.
Okay.
And so we usually get the day after those scrimmages off. But only 1 off day a week.
And then the last question is, what would you say to like your younger self, or like any younger like volleyball players?
Just honestly, just keep working hard, and don't be discouraged, and like you can always, like, don't doubt yourself, because I never thought I would end up at an SEC school. I didn't think like that would be in the cards for me. I never knew that this was gonna happen. So like, just if you're in the recruiting process, stick with it. It's tough, I know, but just keep reaching out to schools, keep working hard, playing hard, and just don't give up on your dreams. Do what you love.
And volleyball's fun.
It is fun.
Volleyball is like, out of all the sports that I've played, I feel like it's been my favorite, because everyone just gets together, and after every point, it's just like, good or bad, you're having fun. But that is everything for this episode. Thanks so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
The next episode is... Oh, it's either women in media, or if that episode is already out, then it's with one of the soccer players. But yeah, I will see you guys next week.